what you put in is what you're going to get out. And if you work hard, you're going to get the results. You know, and that's really what it comes down to.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have a real treat. We have a real estate mogul. I'm going to call you a mogul in the house. And we're going to be talking about the real estate market, but from the perspective of people looking to enter into the industry as an agent or people for a move to an established group of people that are really just making a massive splash. And this is a longtime friend. This is a real treat, by the way, for me to have her in here. Stephanie, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. You came with baby and all.
Yes. He's attached to me, so we go a lot of places together.
That's awesome. Listen, I appreciate you carving out of your scheduled time to come down and participate in this discussion and share all your knowledge. You are a wealth of knowledge. I've known you for a while. You've been in a couple different industries, but you've been in a sort of professional environment for a while. So you are legit.
Thank you.
You are very, very legit. And I want to launch right into it, but give everyone some context as far as like who you are, what sort of like business you and your family represent. Go ahead, launch into it.
So I am Stephanie Lupo. I'm with the Lupo Team with Keller Realty Gold Coast. We are located in Manhasset, and we do ideally as a Lupo Team focus on Nassau County. Centrally located, we stay probably not as far out from Melville, Smithtown, this area, and probably as west as maybe Belrose or Bayside. We do residential mostly, but we do take our business with integrity first and with relationships. That's mainly our goal, is to do the right thing by our clients and to help them with getting to their goal. You know, having a move and moving out of your house is not
a big deal.
It's not as easy as people think, like, go pack up your stuff, find a new house. It's a long process, and there's a lot of things that are involved in between. So we're kind of that buffer that helps to guide
Great
through
support
that process.
system.
Yeah, we like to say we like to bulletproof, you know, the transactions. And we're professional, so based off of the experience that we've had in my family with the last 30 years, kind of gone through this more than a few times.
Yeah, you're not newbies.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we'd like to share that along with a lot of the other agents that are out there, because it's our industry, you know, and we like to teach our industry the right way of doing things. It helps everybody, you know, it helps the whole industry as a whole to just have knowledgeable agents that can be professionals and know how to portray themselves as professionals.
Yeah, you and your family, you are real legends when it comes to real estate on Long Island because of the way that you've handled yourself. You've been in the industry for such a long time, and you've become almost like the industry standard. You know, the Gold Coast of Long Island is a place that's known around the world, and the fact that you have come in, your family have come in for 30 years, and you represent the Gold Coast is a really big deal. So all eyeballs around the world are on you guys, and you're leading the charge, and you're doing a great job. And, you know, in a day and an age where, you know, you're not the only real estate game in town, right?
Yeah, right.
But you've established a
competition.
differentiator.
Yes.
And that's incredible. And you mentioned it before with your integrity, your approach to it. It's really amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we are in the business to help people. I mean, that's ideally what the goal is. You know, there's people have gone through bad transactions in the past, or just maybe they're surgeons or they're accountants or wherever they are, and they just don't understand, or maybe they're just not those types of people that want to handle the real estate transaction. So we're there to help them.
Yeah,
you know?
It's incredible. I mean, we're talking about like the Great Gatsby community of the world. That, you know, that Gold Coast, the Manhasset area. It's really beautiful in that whole area.
It is.
And for you to be able to represent that. First of all, I just want to talk about some of the properties that you represent, because I know there's a lot of people that like stalk pictures because they just want to see the houses. You get to walk through these houses.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, I'm putting you on the spot. No, sure. Tell me some of the most like extravagant, beautiful homes that you've got to see in all the years.
Okay, so I'll always remember this. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
One of my first listings, I was really intrigued. It had that, you know, grand staircase when you walked in. I'm talking like one of these 2+ million homes.
Oh, wow.
And it's not like a big, you know, shocker, but you walk in there and you get to see the way people live and their lifestyles. And I remember walking into the master bedroom, and I see his and her closets, and this woman, she had shoes in her bathroom with the big bubbly bath. Like, I mean, it was huge with the old-fashioned faucets, and I was just like, you know what, this is beautiful. And I am so happy for her that she was able to get married and have her life in this house and enjoy all of these things. And it was a real true blessing. And when we had brought in the new family,
Yeah.
I knew that woman was really going to enjoy that.
It was a
master
perfect
bedroom.
fit.
Yes, it was like she was meant for that, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and also all the other rooms for the children and everything else that came along with it, of course. But to me, that was my first, you know, personal experience. Just because I'm one of those girls, I have my dressing room.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did feel that connection when I walked in. I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we'll be honest, right? So Long Island is one of the most affluent areas in the entire world, especially the North Shore, the area that you guys represent.
Yeah.
And I know there's this sort of like stereotype that it comes along with the North Shore of Long Island, that, you know, the North Shore of Long Island, they're terrible people, they're stuck-up people, they're people of privilege. You know, what has been your experience so far? I mean, you work with these people hand in hand, flesh and flesh. Your family's been working with them for over 30 years. Tell us a little bit for the small people in the background. Help us out. Like, what are these people like?
Okay, well, let's be real. I
Yeah.
mean, there are ugly people everywhere. Right? So can't forget about that.
Yeah.
But North Shore, I noticed, is a lot of people that have a lot of weight on their shoulders and work from Manhattan. Majority of the people that I work with, or my clients that come in as buyers, are coming to the North Shore or that area specifically because it's easy transport to Manhattan or to the city or forever where they have to do. And I think it may just be because it's not so much that they're snobby or this and that. I think it's just that those are the people that live in the areas that are under a lot of pressure and they have, you know, a lot of transportation to worry about.
Yeah, and when they come home, they want to relax.
They come home, they want to relax, and they don't get to vacation, so they do want that pool and that vibe to make them feel that they're on a vacation when they get home and they are able to take that rest. And I understand that, and I've come to really almost appreciate that because I do work so many hours too, and I take my vacations.
Yeah.
If I was to save all the money that I booked these vacations with, I
right.
probably could afford a little bit bigger of a house, but you know, I can understand it.
Yeah, I mean, someone's house is a retreat, especially for someone who's, I mean, for everyone. Your home is your retreat, and I understand that people on the North Shore, especially in the community that you're serving, and he would agree, you know, these people are slaving in Manhattan. It's a really stressful environment, or wherever their work is. When they come home, they want to treat themselves, and it's their retreat, and so they're making that investment for themselves and their family.
Exactly.
And so it's, you know, I've got to see some of these homes myself. Listen, I've stalked some of your listings, I got to be honest, and it's beautiful. Like, these places are amazing.
And they range from all different price
they
points.
do.
And even at the smaller price points too, they have such amazing charm.
Yes.
And when you meet the right person
Yes.
that connects with that home and you see it and you're able to share that with them, there's nothing that's more rewarding.
Yes.
You know, and
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, the North Shore of Long Island, or just Long Island in general, you don't have to spend millions of dollars to get a beautiful home.
Oh, not at all.
Right? There's amazing communities on Long Island that you can still affordably enter the market at $400,000 or $500,000, right?
Of course, yes.
Tell me a little bit about those communities.
So I mean, what do you want to know about them specifically?
Yeah, so what parts of Long Island, if someone's looking to buy a house on Long Island, I know they think, like, I can't afford it. It's way too expensive for me to get a really, you know, a nice place that I can raise my family. What are some nice, you know, communities on Long Island that you would recommend?
Well, as a realtor, legally, we're not allowed to speak of a location or recommend location.
So I'm pushing her, by the way. I don't know if you noticed this. I want an answer.
So I have to be very clever with the way to answer this.
Yeah.
No, there are some areas that are up and coming. So it's easier to get in now. While the neighborhoods are up and coming and the prices are a little bit lower, that is one of the smarter ways of investing and getting in now, especially if you're going in at a lower point and you're first-time home buyers. I mean, at my age, a lot of my friends, they come to me and they're like, Steph, I'm still
Are you talking about what, 17, 18?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been stuck at that point for a while.
For a while, okay.
Yes, but they ask me, how do you afford a mortgage, or how did you do it, or this and that, we're still renting, and you know, a lot of people, I think, just don't understand that there is possibilities for them. It's just the way that they have to be taught, or they have to be guided on how to do it.
Yeah. And surrounding yourself with the right people, hiring the right agent makes all the difference.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Makes all the difference. Like, I'm not here to criticize anyone, but I know you for a while, and I know you're a person who represents integrity, and you're not going to even represent a property unless you truly believe in it.
Yeah,
so, you know, so I think it's so important if you're looking even either a buyer or a seller to make sure you align yourself with someone who knows your market, right? Who has lots of experience. This is not necessarily their first listing. No offense to them, and I know you can't say that, but I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
You know, I'll say it for you. You know, that's why, like, so for you and your family and your office, you've been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
You've got established relationships. That's in the plus column
and
for
a lot
me.
of support. A lot of
ton of support.
You know, our office alone, it's not one of those offices where you get, a realtor of the month because they sold the most. We're the type of office where if you come to somebody, I mean, my father's a coach. He does it for free.
Is that right?
He teaches in our office, once a week or whenever he can.
Holy cow.
And we coach the agents on how to be,
Yes.
certain ways, or how to go through an open house, or what
Yes.
to do. And plenty of times we have like little conversations, and it's not a competition in our office. Everybody is new at some point, and they need to come to
Great
somebody
point.
who has experience. So even if there's something that we don't know, it's very easy for us to come to support and call any of our 200 plus 265 whatever the number's at now
Holy cow.
agents and say, hey, can you help me out with this? Or hey, the area,
Yes.
what would you suggest about that? I mean,
Right.
that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
Is having that
Yes.
that backing.
Yeah. If it's okay, I want to explore that a little bit further. So, agents either that are looking to just enter the market, or agents that have been at it for a while, but maybe they're not really fully confident at the place that they're at. Tell me a little bit about the value of being a part of an office with an established system with lots of support, like you're saying. What does that present to a new agent coming to your office?
Okay. I mean, so a lot of times I do think about it, and I say, as myself, I was fortunate enough to have somebody to teach me how to go about certain things and to avoid mistakes. And you only get that through experience by being on the field. So for me, I really would like to get in contact maybe, because I'm not one of those people who are poachers. I'm not going to go to different real estate companies and say, hey, listen, I don't know what they're doing for you right now, but this is what we can do. But I wish there was a way for these agents to know that there is offices or real estate
opportunities
brokerages that do give them the opportunity to say, hey, listen, this is how you do a listing presentation. This is how you should present yourself. This is how you should say your elevator speech. If you run into somebody and you want to tell them who you are and what you're about, this is how to say it. And they don't come to you and say, oh, well, I want a percentage or I want money for that. No, we're here to make you, a professional, to make you successful.
Yes.
And, maybe that'll pay forward in the future, whatever it is. But, we look at it as we want to teach those. And I don't think enough people know that.
No, they don't. And I think that's why you in just the general workforce, there's a lot of high turnover. Is oftentimes a business will hire someone with the expectation of, I hired you, now do your job, without any additional support, no training. They're not showing them the ropes.
They're supposed to have sponsors. Every realtor is supposed to have a sponsor when they join a brokerage.
Yeah, on paper, but what does that mean though?
Right, but usually that broker is busy doing their everyday business, and they have to produce and provide for their family. They're not going to stop and spend hours with you. So in our company, we actually have people that are in that position, or they sign up on their calendar a month in advance and say, this is the class that I'm going to teach. And whoever wants to attend that class or is interested in that specific course will go. And then they also have, once a week for a whole month where they do a launch class on how to present yourself, to a seller, how to do a walkthrough on an open house. And I think that's a lot of benefit, it was for me. And now that I'm experienced and I've actually been a producing agent for a while and really have evolved, I see how much that is meaningful.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think everyone should be taking notes here, because the more you invest in your team, just the better your business will perform, period.
Right.
And I think that oftentimes arrogance and pride gets in the way. And you're like, oh, that person's not performing, they're fired, let's just find someone new. Instead of, let's invest in that person. By taking the time, investing in that individual, raising the bar for them, giving them the tools and the support they need, then they can perform better.
Well, I mean, let me tell you, for example, we have an open house, and we'll say, hey, listen, you're new, like, why don't you come and shadow us? And then when we do our follow-up calls, you can watch me do follow-up calls.
Wow.
Hey, next time around, when you do an open house, once you get good at it, you feel comfortable doing it on your own, you could take those those buyers that come in, and you can call them and follow up with them. Hey, if they didn't like our house, you might be able to show them other houses. These agents are getting free leads.
That's amazing.
And we're offering that to them at no cost. Yeah. We're saying, hey, listen, if we didn't get to them, you're more than welcome to give it a try, or even if it's for practice or whatever it is. I'm a firm believer of, I do it, we do it, and then you do it. Yeah. So I will always
steal that.
say,
I love that.
I always say, watch me do it.
Yeah.
Take mental notes, take your own notes, and then I want you to try it on your own. And if I have to jump in or correct or whatever it is, adjust it, I will. And then I allow them to do it on their own until they feel comfortable with it. And just being able to have some people already over the last years that I've been doing real estate, I've seen a difference in them. and that's a real reward for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd like to see other realtors want to come to me and say, hey, you know, I really do want to go to the next level in my career. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And everybody wants a piece of my money. You know, could I pick your brain for a little bit? Or can I, you know, see some of the materials that you use?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what our culture at Keller Williams
Yes.
is. At least at Gold Coast, you know, that's our culture.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you guys have clearly created an amazing culture at your business, and you attract some really high level people. So obviously, listen, you're a place that everyone wants to work. For someone who's like interested in like, hey, I want to work for you, can you please like hire me? Like, is there opportunity though to still work for places like you?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no, you know, max amount of people that can join a brokerage.
Yeah.
I mean, ours, we're at the fourth story of a building.
Wow.
You know, we have the space we have the cubicles, we have the phones, we have the accessibility, we have conference rooms, so many things that are accessible for them to use.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's stopping anybody from, you know, leveraging themselves
Sure.
and wanting more for themselves.
Gotcha.
The sky's the limit. I mean, as corny as that sounds, it really
Yeah.
is, especially when you're a realtor, your own entrepreneur.
That's true.
You know, it's what you make of it.
Yeah, that's
and what
amazing.
You want. Yeah.
So if someone's listening right now and they're just like, they've heard of you guys, or they're drinking the Kool-Aid because they hear about the amazing culture and they wanted that sort of shift, would you be open to them sort of reaching out? I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
Absolutely,
Could they?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And they're even welcome to set up a meeting with me and come and check out
Sure.
the office and see.
Would your son be interviewing them?
No. We would get a babysitter.
Okay.
But this was a friendly visit, and we didn't mind having him on camera. So,
Yeah, there you go.
We just took advantage of it.
So talking about your son and your family, tell me a little bit more now about your family, your parents. When did they start this whole sort of empire that they built?
Okay, so I want to say they've been in the industry for almost 30 years now.
Okay.
I want to say about 12 or 15 years, I'm not sure. They went off and they heard great things about Keller Williams, which is originally in Texas. So they took a ride out to Austin, Texas to get to know a little bit more about the culture and what the company was about and what all the hoorah was, because Keller Williams is huge in the southern states. And they loved it. They fell in love with the whole culture, the mindset, the percentages. I mean, what company is willing to give all of this for free and then say, hey, listen, when you start establishing yourself, we're going to give you 100% of your own money. I mean, it's not like one of those typical 50-50
That's unusual,
cut.
by the way.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, they want you to, they give you the tools to become successful, and then they say, when you become successful, don't worry about it. It's all yours.
Holy cow.
I mean, that's really, think about that. I mean, what real estate company does that? No, they only want
I've never heard of
50%
any, I'm going to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that was huge for them, and they brought the concept back to Long Island. They spoke to it, a few of their close real estate friends that were, you know, very big producing realtors, and they decided to open up the first Keller Williams on Long Island.
Wow. So they pioneered Keller Williams on Long Island. Your parents did.
Yes.
Because that's a name that's
and they're
commonly
so humble
heard
about it.
around
So
here.
it's not like this huge like newsletter thing. Like,
Oh my, that's a
they're
big
very
deal.
humble about it. Yeah. So to me, it is a very big deal.
Wow.
I'm very proud of them.
Because they established the brand that's very well respected here on Long Island.
And now it's grown throughout Long Island substantially. I mean, I
Oh
don't
my
know
gosh.
how many their market centers have opened up since then.
Yes.
They're all individually owned and operated and everything, but the name and the culture itself has branched out. And I remember when we first opened it, it was like, Keller who? Who are you with?
right.
You know? And
Yeah.
now like Keller Williams is like, oh, yeah, I know them. Yeah, they listed my neighbor's house or they do this or that. And
Wow.
it's a wonderful thing. It's really been
Incredible.
a blessing. Yeah.
So let's go back even further now. Before your parents, got their feet wet in real estate 30 years ago, what was your dad doing before that? How did he transition? Where was your mom? Like, what were you guys doing as a family?
So I'm the youngest of all my siblings. When I turned 12, my mom was like, "I'm done being a housewife."
Yeah.
A mother.
Sure.
You know, that
Yeah.
she was taking care of everything all day
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
And she was like, I need to get like a job. I'm done just worrying about what you kids are doing all the time.
Sure.
So she went out and got her real estate license.
Oh.
Kills it.
Really?
She got it. I mean, peak of the markets. She killed it.
Wow.
That's when she realized, hey, why am I giving half of my money to this broker? I gotta go find a different company or open up my own or do something. And that's what gave her that leverage to want to do it. My father was a mechanic. He owned a shop on Metropolitan Avenue in Queens.
So their whole family are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And when my father saw what my mother was doing, he said, hey, I am done getting dirty in the cold and the heat, and I'm going to put on a suit, get my license, and we're going to kill it. And they've been a team ever since.
What a transition. So from mechanic to launching this massive real estate empire. That's a really cool.
Yeah.
That's an empower thing that I think a lot of people who even listen and watch the show can. I think it'll really like inspire them, because a lot of people, they get comfortable and confident in the place that they're at,
Yes.
and they're like, oh, I wish I could do this, but they lack the courage.
Or
But
they
you're-
have fear.
Or they
of the
right.
change. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
exactly.
that a
But your
lot.
parents teamed up, and they're like, we could do this. We
Yeah.
got this,
Mhm.
and they did it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy life change. I remember
Wow.
looking back at it. I mean, again, I was 12 years old, so I really didn't know exactly what was going
Yes.
on. But I remember the transition was huge. It was a total risk, on our
Wow.
take to just drop everything, sell our business,
Yes.
do everything, and just become it. Because as a realtor, you wake up every day and you're unemployed, unless you have a bunch of listings.
Great
you
point,
wake up every
actually.
day and
Right.
you are unemployed. So that keeps us motivated.
Yes.
Ever since then, it's like, all right, well, how are we making money today?
We gotta hustle.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? Who we're connecting with? Who am I
Yeah,
gonna tell who I
yeah.
am and what I could do for them?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
yeah, that's
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit more about your mom. Now, where is she originally from? Tell me about that whole story.
my mother is originally from Sicily, from Palermo. She was brought here when she was, I believe she was 4 years old or 5 years old.
And your dad's from here.
And my dad was born here. Not
Okay.
all of his siblings were. He's 1 of 9, and my mother is 1 of 7.
Wow.
So, all of my mother's siblings are from Sicily and came here.
Wow. So you're first generation.
Yes, I'm first generation.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love this story, by the way. The more I get to know it, I love it even more.
So we were friends. You should know.
Yeah, I should. I should. I feel so bad. I've been guilty.
Yeah.
Wow, so really cool. So your mom is Sicilian. Your dad also, it's got
Sicilian.
Sicilian roots as well. You're a first generation.
Yes.
And wow, they're real sort of American dream story here.
Yeah.
Your dad is starting a mechanic business. Your mom's here. They start this real estate empire.
They just hustle
You guys should
their
write a
ways
book.
every day.
My
I
goodness.
wish I could. Jeez, that'd be a really long book.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, incredible. Really, really cool. So now you're a mom yourself.
Yes.
All right. So your parents got started. You're saying that she was a mom and she made this transition.
Yes.
Now you're a mom, so you sort of can relate to that moment, right?
Well, I mean, I kind of planned it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
So my previous career, as you know, was in the car dealership.
Yes.
I trained. I set up business development centers, marketing, things like that, and the hours were very long, very late.
Yeah.
I knew that I had to make a change if I wanted to be
Yeah.
a mother. So
Yes.
I decided real estate was the best way to do it because my sister conveniently lives 4 blocks from me,
You're kidding.
and she has
It's like Ray Romano.
Yeah, and she has a daughter who's 5 months older than my son.
Oh my gosh.
And she's off on weekends,
Wow.
so it makes it very convenient for me
Yeah.
on the weekends to do open houses and to see my
Okay.
clients and to go do showings. And he's such a good boy, as
Yeah.
you guys can see. So he's easy to babysit.
By the way, he's the star of this whole thing.
Everyone's probably just staring at him the whole time, I'm sure. I know he doesn't really look like me, guys.
Yeah.
But I promise he's mine. He, we just get babysitters and we
Yeah.
work around our schedule. And I
Yeah.
think that was the easiest transition for me. And
Sure.
it was the best decision, honestly, because
Yeah.
I was really excited to start my family.
Yeah.
And I knew that I needed to be a part of my family's business.
Yeah.
I knew with my sister and my brother being in the medical field
Mm.
and with my sales backgrounds, it was only a matter of time until
Right.
I put my foot in and
Yeah.
really stepped up
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
And I did. I feel I gave it my all, and I
Yeah.
really did learn a lot.
Sure.
And I'm not going to be modest about it, but I've been successful.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of my past career had a lot to do with that too, because
Yep.
it did train me to be in a very hard environment with a lot of mixed
the auto
people.
industry is hard.
Yes, I mean, you're dealing with customers who are not always very happy. It's a dreadful transaction, so they're
Yes.
automatically coming in with their guards up.
Oh
So,
yeah.
it kind of shapes me to be prepared for whatever comes at me, not to be afraid of anyone
Yeah.
when I'm
Oh, you're a
addressing
tough
them.
cookie.
Yeah, I might not look it, but I'm pretty tough inside.
Yeah.
Sicilian, remember?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been a good run.
Yeah, cool. All right, so you made this transition from the automotive industry. You've
Yeah.
been a professional for a while. I feel like you were born and you were working. That's what it seems like.
Well, yeah, I mean, my dad used to tell me, like, oh, you want money? You want to go out, go get a job.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I guess that's, back from
That's great though
his
that he
old school
instilled
mentality.
that
Yeah.
work ethic
Yeah.
in you.
And I did. I I started at like 14, working at
Wow.
the car dealerships, front desk, billing,
Wow.
and
Learned it all.
internet. Yeah, went from step to step to step.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot, and then
Yeah.
I just at a young age
Yeah.
became a manager, which was shocking
Holy
for a lot
cow.
of people because they were like, she looks like she's 12. How
Right,
is she a
right,
manager?
right,
And
right,
I got
right,
that
right.
for so many years.
Oh,
but once I
sure.
was able to speak and show my knowledge and my
Yeah.
professionalism, they
They're
were
like,
oh,
oh, she belongs here.
okay, she knows what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, it's always going to be that struggle, I feel like, because I do have that young persona. But that's why I like to help people that are kind of going through the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, they're young and they're
Yeah.
realtors. They want to get out there, but they're
Right.
getting the same feedback or they're struggling with
Yes.
the same things that I did. And
Yeah.
I kind of got past that now. So
Yeah.
I want to be able to help them coach through
Yeah.
what to do, what not to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So for someone looking to maybe make a career change or looking for a brand new opportunity, do you think that real estate represents that opportunity for them? He's saying yes. I want to know what you think, though.
If they're looking for a real estate opportunity, I have to say the first year that you start off, you definitely want to have some kind of financial backing because it's like anything else. You need to build
Sure.
a pipeline. So
Because you're like your own boss in a way, right?
And you have to motivate yourself. You have to learn how to speak,
Yes.
what to say. You have to get motivated to prospect or to join certain call groups so
Yes.
that you will start to develop some business. You have
Yes.
to get out there on the field, talk to people.
Yeah.
So that takes some time. And then once you get your first listing, again, a listing could take anywhere from 30 to 60 to 90 to 160 days
Right.
to sell. So you're not getting your paycheck until that goes to the closing table.
Yeah.
You know, everyone
But
gets excited.
you
I got
sell your
listing.
first. Well, the thing is, you sell your first house, though.
Yes, and you do have a lucrative income.
Right.
Absolutely. But
Once
you
that
just
cycle
need to
kicks
have-
in.
Right. You just need to have some savings or
Yes.
someone or something to
Yes.
just cover you for that time
Yes.
before you get your pipeline started. And then once you start, there's nothing stopping
Right.
you.
And you also want to get into the right, though, brokerage firm. Is that the right way of
Yes,
saying
yes.
it? Right? Because if you get into the right firm, then you link with the right broker,
Yes.
then you've got like systems in place already that help you out.
Yeah.
You've got training that help. You're not guessing. You're not really
No,
doing
you
this
come
on your
into
own.
the
Then.
office 8 o'clock in the morning. There's always going to be somebody there to
Yes.
say, "Hey, you want to role play with me, or you want to do
Perfect.
this, or you want
Yes.
to do that?" I mean, there's always going to be
Yeah.
somebody somewhere, even if
Yeah.
you just call them and
Yes.
say, "Hey, are you available at this time today? I'd like to just chat with you for a
Yeah.
little bit." Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm ignorant. I've never been in this market. But if someone's looking for like a typical 9 to 5, an hourly paycheck, that's what they're comfortable with. Should they go into real estate?
No, because it's definitely not structured that way.
Right.
When someone calls you and they want to see a house,
Yes.
you need to get on the phone, and especially in our market where houses sell very quickly. Or it could be the other way around where there's a lot of buyers and there's so many offers that are going on, multiple offers, that you need to get on things very quickly. So if you're working, if you're used to working a 9 to 5 job and it's 8
Yes.
o'clock at night and they're saying, "Hey, listen, tomorrow morning I want to see this property before work.
Yes.
Can you make it happen?" And
Yeah.
guess what? You got to be on the phone, making that
Yes.
appointment, scheduling that with the homeowner, making sure that everything works out
Yeah.
to get that showing going.
Yeah.
So that's just one scenario.
Right.
Right.
What about that person who's working a job right now and they're like, I'm putting all this extra time in. We just did this product or this project that performed really well. I did the whole thing. My company benefited from it. I didn't get that extra paycheck. I didn't get a bonus. I didn't see any financial backing. And they're like, man, I wish there was some type of work environment where the amount of work I put in is the amount that I got out of it. That type of person, should they maybe consider real estate?
Absolutely, because like I said earlier, as I know it's corny, is the sky is the limit, and if you're willing to put in the work and
Yeah.
you are that driven person and you want to have an industry that's going to support you and have an income that is amazing, if you're really committed to it, real
Yeah.
estate is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Because there's so much money to be made if you know what you're doing, you do it right, and you come from the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say like a real estate agent that has never done, a person who has never been in real estate before, right? But they're a pretty driven person. This is the person that we've been outlining so far. They want to make this career shift. Do you think a person like this who goes to your office, maybe in time, do you think they have an opportunity where they can make $150,000 a year?
If they have the tools and they have the determination, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's nothing stopping them.
Yeah.
It's really just what you put in is what you're going to get out. And if you work hard, you're going to get the results.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Especially, I would imagine working with a brokerage firm like you guys where you have multi-million-dollar listings, you could probably make that with just one sale.
It's nice when you get, a $2 million listing
Right?
in the Gold Coast, because there is a lot of multi-million dollar homes there.
Right.
It's very nice to get that one deal. I mean, there was a lady in our office who got a huge deal, and she made like $600,000 that 1 year.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Stopped
What?
working. Yeah, she made a commission check for like $600,000.
This is a real estate agent?
There's plenty
I know
of
this
real
is
estate agents that have transactions like this.
Really?
Yes.
So, wait a minute. Hold on. You said plenty, and you said there's actually people in your office.
Yeah.
One transaction.
Yeah, let's say
They sold one home.
An apartment building.
They sold one and made $600 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I sign up? I'm there. I'm in.
Everybody should really be a
Wow.
realtor if they have some
That's
free time
amazing.
and they want to get their foot out there to make
Yes.
some supplement income. Absolutely.
Oh, what an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, it really just comes up to who are your contacts.
Yeah.
Who trusts in you.
Yeah.
What you are, how you embrace yourself internally to people, how you connect with people, and
Yeah.
if you do have a good circle of people and you have the referrals, and I think that's very easy to have a lucrative business.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. Where can people find more information about you, your team, and all this stuff? If someone wants to transfer to you guys or wants to start a career, where can they find you?
They can. I wouldn't give my number out to all these people. I don't know how people are listening. But you can go on to queensnassauhomes.com, which is our team website. If you want to read reviews about us, you can look us up on Zillow. I think there's like 90 reviews on there right now about some sellers who worked with us. And if you want to contact me, my email is Stephanie, STEPHANIE, .lupoteam@gmail.com.
Okay, so you don't mind being flooded with
Yeah, you
questions?
can email me because I'll get back to you on my own. But I got a baby over here. You guys can't
gotta be understanding,
calling me,
people.
texting me all the time.
Yeah.
But email is definitely.
Yeah. Before you go, if you don't mind, you're a mom. Obviously, you're proving it. You have your baby here, which is amazing.
Very dedicated in both areas.
Clearly, I mean, I really appreciate the fact that you came down and you brought your son. It's incredible. But talk to other moms. Talk to other moms right now. I want you to encourage them. Tell them about your story a little bit. Could a mom who has a young child at home, could they do this?
Absolutely. A lot of the people that are in my office are stay-at-home moms who decided to get their real estate license, and they needed to get out of the house. They wanted to have that one-on-one conversation with humans again, not just Sesame Street.
They're going stir crazy, right?
I mean, you're in your house
Baby
for
Einstein.
months, and then you're like, okay, I have family and I have this, but I want to be able to provide in a financial way to my family, and especially if you had a career before you had children and you feel that you're not producing anymore, it's easier to do it at your own pace.
Yeah.
And especially if you're taking buyers out, it's easier, it's faster. Apartments are also something that's easier if you're looking to get that quick income.
There's ways to
and
do
just
it.
Things. There's so many ways to do it, and it's really, as long as you could do the research, and if you're home with a baby, it's easy to stay on the computer and read up about it, or even take your online course, your real estate course you can take online.
Really?
And get your real estate license. Yeah.
Is that something that you guys can help out with? If someone's curious, they've never done it, they have no idea where to start, could you sort of nudge them in the right direction, show them where to go, what to do?
Absolutely. I know the instructors. I know locations.
Oh, you have the relationship with all these
I have
people?
relationships, yeah, of course.
Oh,
I
that's
keep
huge.
relationships with everyone I meet.
That's
Come on,
huge.
you know that. Every person I meet, I make sure
Everyone
they
knows
stay connected
Stephanie.
with me.
Yeah. Come on, she's Sicilian people. Very cool. So as far as now the mom, do you think that doing this now as a mom of a young child, does that take away from or add to you and your role as of being a mom?
Definitely adds to everything. Is added when he came around. It's amazing, and it gives me more motivation. I think because it's doing it for him, but then I also do feel the guilt because when I leave him, I'm like, oh, my
Makes
baby,
sense.
especially he's my first child,
Oh,
I know other people have 2, 3 kids, and I'll get over it,
It's like that whole thing with the binkies, right? The first one, we have to clean every binky every single time, right? You have the second child, it fell on the floor, just give it back, just put it in his mouth.
Right, exactly. So I mean, it definitely has its ups and downs.
Sure.
Like anything else, but
it's super rewarding. It sounds like
it's rewarding because I'm not giving up my dream of what I truly want to be as an individual, and of course I've always dreamt of being a mother and having children, and that's a huge dream of mine too, an accomplishment and miracle. But I am still Stephanie,
of course,
and other than being his mother, I still want to make sure that when he goes to school and he carries on his life, that I'm still going to have my career, my life, and my legacy to leave for him, and for him to know that I've always pushed and did everything, and he never held me back from anything.
Yeah, I think that's one of the one of the most amazing things about real estate. Presents a couple different options. It presents the option for someone who wants to just be all in, working the 40, 60, whatever hours a week, right, making hundreds, if not millions of dollars a year. But it also presents an opportunity for someone who's like, you know what, for my own sanity, I want to work a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, real estate is one of those few industries where it presents both opportunities.
Yes.
And both people can be successful at it still. And there's not a lot of other careers where they allow you to do that. But in real estate, you can do that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Or even if you're able to do certain other skills that might not be real estate related, specifically, well, let's say like for you, for instance, you've taught me so many things over the years. You know, there's a lot of people that have helped me build my career based off of their knowledge and what they know. So a lot of people will hire people for their knowledge or expertise, even if it's a stay-at-home mom and she used to be a writer or something. She could help realtors do a beautiful property description,
right?
You know, and they'll pay them for that. So there's other ways that you can do things to make money and be involved and you know, get your foot in the door before saying, oh, do I want to go get my real estate license and just try it out? And you know, there's other things you could tip your toe in.
Absolutely.
And tip your toe in the water.
Yeah. And what better market to do it than Long Island?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible.
There's always a house for sale. There's always people that will want to move. Yes. It's Long Island is the place to live, right?
Oh,
for
without a doubt.
So
I was just talking to another real estate guy, and we were just talking about just the town of Smithtown, this little town. Yeah. Long Island's huge, right? This little town. And he was like, so in just the town of Smithtown recently, there were over 480 listings. I'm like, that's just a town of Smithtown.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I understand, like, you go around the country, most markets are not going to have that for counties maybe. And that's what's amazing about Long Island. There's so much opportunity here. Even if you were town specific, there's opportunity.
Always, yeah.
Now you link up with Gold Coast, like you guys, and you guys are just like killing it.
It's all about how they're going to market your property. You know,
Without
it's not about like you were saying Smithtown, right? It's got all its opportunities, but I'm in Manhasset, so that like rang a bell for me because you know there is a distance there. But when you're hiring a realtor, because everyone's like, oh, go with your local realtor, and I appreciate that because we're local realtors of, let's say, for where I grew up.
Yes.
You know, we were the local realtors for a pretty long time. I mean, they've been doing it 30 years, right? Then I graduated high school. People knew who I was, and it just carried on. So I appreciate that. But I also see it as when you're hiring a realtor or you are a realtor, are you able to really provide the services to your clients? You know, do you have the means to market their property properly? Are you able to do drone shots on luxury properties?
That's actually a really good point.
You know?
Yes. I want to talk about that. Listen, by the way, obviously we're going to have you back because we can talk forever.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I don't know what time it is. All right.
I just realized, wow, this thing is going on, but this is amazing. This is huge stuff here. Also, let's say you're a buyer. Oh, no, rather, you're a seller. You want to sell your home. Linking up with some type of firm that has the resources is key. Like you're saying, now like drone shots, who understands the social media market, how to bring your property to available buyers.
Keyword searches on
Google. My gosh,
it's
huge.
Be doing pay-per-click things?
There's a massive difference.
There's so many things that are going to draw the buyers, the relevant buyers to a specific property.
Yes, of course.
That's also something really important. So I think that it comes into play with all the questions that you asked me. If you're going to become a realtor, if you are a realtor, as a prospective buyer or seller, these are things that everyone should really think about and know, because it's not just about can you do a transaction or can you show somebody's house, living room, dining room, kitchen, blah, blah, blah. It's not just that. There's so much that is an expense and time consuming, you know, that comes into the whole transactions.
So last couple questions for you. Someone who has never been in real estate or someone looking to transition from one office to another, what is step one for them?
Call me or email me, come into my office, see what the office has to offer. It would show them my calendar of
You're that accessible? Like you're willing to do that for people?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if I was to set up, let's say it was like, you know, 2 or 3 people that wanted to see at the same time. Hey guys, let's get together at the same time.
You're an open book.
Yeah, I'll order pizza. We'll just talk about it.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I mean.
All right, so I'm going to hold you that. So if you want a free pizza, everyone call Stephanie right now.
Yeah.
So step one really should be just reaching out to you. Ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, don't try to guess on your own. Just ask the people who have already done it.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I'm an open book, so whatever questions you have, I'm happy to help. I'm not one of those like, don't ask me my secrets.
Yeah.
There's
we're in
more
this
than
together,
enough,
right?
Yeah, more than enough houses to go around for everybody.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. I agree. All right, so right now I want you to really allow everyone to get access to you. I know you sort of said it before, but let's hit it again.
Okay.
Where can everyone find more information about you specifically? And then where can everyone find information about this empire that your family has built?
So you can visit our website. It's queensnassauhomes.com. And my email address is stephanie.lupoteam@gmail.com. If you Google search Lupo Team with Keller Williams, you will see plenty of materials that come up. If you want more information about Keller Williams and their culture, you can Google that also. There's plenty of information for you to read up on.
Gotcha. Can they find you on like social media, Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, you can find me. I am under Stephanie Lupo-Musmacker on my social media. But you can find me and you can friend me, you can connect with me, ask me questions on there as well. Yeah, definitely.
You know, the one thing about having like a long last name, I have a long last name too, Taramina, is that it's not typical, right? It's not like Smith.
Right.
Right? So it's
You want me to spell it?
well, I would smell it, but my point is this: when you have these atypical names, I actually think it's easier for people to remember.
Yeah.
Because when it's like Smith, it's like, well, which Smith?
Right.
Like
yeah.
you're the only so it's only Stephanie. That's
It's
it.
German, I think, for hard worker or something. My
Oh
husband
my
told
God,
me.
this is so perfect.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool.
Did you know that this show is called Don't Fear Grits? So grit, hard work.
Yeah.
So maybe I should just rename it to your last name or something like that.
Go
Ask
for
your,
it.
I'm gonna ask your husband if I can borrow your last name.
Go for it.
we're
You're welcome
just
to
gonna-
it. You have to ask him too.
Yeah, there you go. That's really, really cool. So do me a favor, if you could just spell it for everyone listening and watching so they can find you.
Yes. Well, it's Stephanie, Stephanie, Lupo, Lupo, which means wolf in Italian.
Oh,
Sicilian.
okay.
And Musmacker is spelled Musmacker. Musmacker.
Gotcha. So they can find you on various social media channels.
Yes, yeah.
And
LinkedIn,
you don't mind if they reach out, ask
Facebook.
some
Please
questions.
reach out, ask all the questions.
Because I actually can sort of like predict right now. I see a lot of moms, relatable situations that have questions.
I'm sure
They're
there are.
probably scared right now about making this transition. And maybe that little conversation, I'm going to just let you guys know, could help them.
Yeah, I mean, and if they have other questions that I didn't point on or that I
Yeah.
didn't speak about, you know, it may just be something that I could be able to answer for them. I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone through the lifestyle change
Yes.
and I've been in real estate for long enough to know what it takes.
Yeah.
So really, whatever
Yeah.
questions I have, I'm, like I said, open book.
Yeah, I mean, and
Happy to
listen,
answer.
I know we talked about it a little bit before, but not only is you and your family been in real estate for a while, but you've got a lot of experience as a woman professional, in which I applaud you. I've always had a lot of respect for you in that regard, and you're killing it everywhere you've ever been. You're a high-end professional, and I think is wonderful. And I think other women should reach out to you and talk to you about your journey so that you can empower them as well. I think there's something there.
Yeah, I
you
would
know?
love to.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would really love that.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to, it would be rewarding for me to be able to share
Yeah.
that with you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Please do me a favor. Everyone needs to find her. Everyone needs to follow her. And you know what's really cool about Stephanie is she is accessible. She's a person of integrity, and she's an open book, like she says. So if there's anyone out there that has any questions, whether it be about real estate, or maybe it's someone who's been in the car business. I know you've worked your way up the ranks, and she is someone who's been in a managerial position, so she can help coach you guys through a lot of different scenarios. Reach out to her.
Another very lucrative business.
Another
very
lucrative
similar.
Yes.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of people in the car dealerships, I'm sure,
Oh yeah.
that didn't consider real estate. Because you actually
Right.
have to be a hunter in real estate, where in a car dealership, you're kind of the receiver
That's
where
a
they're
great
coming
point.
through the door. So it's a little bit different, but
Yeah.
it's definitely similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're a mom. I know you're very, very busy with career and your son here. So I appreciate you carving out some time to come here.
Sure, absolutely.
Hanging out with us in the
It's been
studio.
my pleasure. It's
I'm gonna have
overdue.
you come down.
Okay.
I'm gonna stalk you, and I'm gonna make sure that you come down, and maybe we can give you like an official title as like our resident real estate expert or something.
That would be great. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Consider it done.
Okay.
Hold me to it.
All right.
Very cool, guys. So, everyone, please make sure you follow her. She is amazing at what she's doing. Her and her family are just doing great work in one of the most affluent communities, really, in the entire world. And they're making it happen right here on Long Island. So, if they could do it here, they can help you do it really anywhere. So, go ahead and find them. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into Don't Fear Grit. I want to just remind you, don't fear the process and don't fear grit. We'll see you next time, guys. Take care.